Good morning, guys. Back at you with some more City Skylines 2. About a quarter of the way there to the million population threshold that we're shooting for. Let's go ahead and hop into this. Yeah, and I'm listening to some Scott Adams in the background. He is one of the great thinkers of our time.
That's one of the evidence. Then there's gaslighting that Democrats. Because January 2nd, gaslighting, in which they pretended it was imaginary. That's one of the main reasons they did it once, but he didn't. That's all. There's never any possibility over that. There's the stuff the Democrats hallucinating. Literally. Won't leave office. Crazy shit. And then the abortion question. Your bodily autonomy. Do that by taking anything that he would not do. In other words, he's not going to be a decision maker. All the power. Not his role.
Thank you for the follow, HUD Lord. I appreciate it.
Basically, all it is correct.
Housing and Urban Development Lord.
That's the democracy. All of it. You can observe it. I have to wonder what. That's of course. Acting all dramatic by office. We don't know who's in charge. Including the jury. That's who do it. Let me just do an update for the NPC. That's for it states that they move for and there's something. So, trying to remain sure that we. All right, Representative Anna,
We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin. Increasing areas of forest are being engulfed by flames. The thick smoke.
My Discord name is Weary_Raven. You can find me there.
To vacate any premises near the fires and remain at a safe distance until emergency services manage to get the fires under control.
So far he's been. But I would ask you this, Representative. This good's right. Good. Because worst case scenario, comes out tomorrow. Or okay, 50% now, and then basically. So, good for Trump. I think Trump is playing this right. Biden is like trying to ask Andy don't need it. There's a way it could go wrong if they could be better, although they still. So I suppose the way they would take a really strong president team. Hey, Kamala. But I don't think we need to hear the hurt. Anything. I think we could reduce the chance. PR says that Trump calls Kamala laughing. Never make fun. Making fun of house. Sort of there's giving you my tongue.
Yeah, his laugh is funny.
Tucker's laugh.
He knows it too. He owns it.
They are. Literally. That's what. Anyway, press conference will be 5:30. Unless presidents are, you know, the news, Alex,
The parasite in chief.
you know, avid. I'm just gonna say, want me to be on the budget? You want me to just. This is why it's good. I would never say it unless I think. You spend 1 minute going.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
Very gay. Now,
It's all about power.
not even slight. Gayest gay guy you don't believe me. Now, you will not tell me.
You know how and why he's gay? He's in love with himself.
And say, I think you're misinterpreting. No doubt, this person. Oh, I love the LGBT. Twenty 24. Have to mention something. Just would just be offensive. Way past. Probably one of the most. One of the ones I have the most. Because why? He ever said this? You don't want to go. Hey, neighborhood. It's like one of the most successful groups there.
That's a good call.
Now, obviously a member of the bring one. But Ted.
And who's also actually a lesbian.
I got something that was. So your pattern recognition. Like somebody. That political reason.
I wonder.
Do you believe that George saw it or not? He was brilliant.
Yeah, certainly a brilliant tactician and a parasite. So, you know.
You might not like.
Gosh dang it.
Did you say this about Alex?
Crash issues over here. Piss me off.
But there are facts. As given. No, real. You should be reviews everything. But you can find an interview. We learn. And I think.
Screw it, let's do this.
Very marriage that no, I don't know. Glory is making all that money for this year. Alex will buy Glory. In my opinion, that's now let's take it to the level of conspiracy.
It's all the tax evasion she wants.
What happens if Alex or
A driving advisory has been issued for the immediate area due to poor road conditions. Please exercise caution if you must drive, and try to...
accidents actually happen in that is Miss Hillary. That doesn't mean that rumor thing. Literally. Who exactly what is going to you make or something? What do you think? That's an air. So it could be. Other could be getting it, but he'll die before. Look at this look. I think it's exactly what it looks like. Big Clinton claim.
Looks like the game is still having trash
They
issues.
don't think out.
Hey, good vote.
They need. I think. put it in the gateway fund. I didn't refuse this system. This is the House passed a bill. Citizens can't vote. And it might pass it. No, no. Yeah. Biden refused this to sign a bill entering 9 seconds. That's the only issue. It also reveals everything. Need to open. And what I mean to that, for their power, and I cited yes, I would view I certainly I disagree. Make all the users. So don't be surprised. Just again, pretty illegal. Well, the Daily Show had a little black voting. And half of the group, the moderator, black gentleman, and vote. Even split. See that coming. See that coming. I did. I would have guessed. Had to have it in the league. 26 more often. And as Mike Benz won, you guys can't release something. Russia's. You all understand why it's always Russia. I have to know the history of the CIA. The Soviet is a new enemy.
I've got a jut in your forehead. You see this? Sticks out.
Russia.
I have a big prefrontal cortex.
Was that Russia was basically why we're not
So it grants me my intelligence.
everything that they were doing was probably the only. Now there was also food and India maybe. So there's
Cognitive revolution happened 70,000 years ago,
But if we had
roughly.
already made friends,
That was also about the
we
time
probably
frame
would already-
that Neanderthal really started interbreeding,
if we
with
wanted
Homo
something like
sapien.
that.
and Neanderthal had
And they
jutting
were our
foreheads. They were probably smarter than us. Probably smarter than Homo sapien. And that is probably what launched the cognitive revolution.
So,
Yeah, more than likely.
Russia was because
cognitive revolution is an interesting concept, interesting idea,
I don't think that
because we went from just another ape in the middle of the savannah to suddenly making art and having language and building buildings. Just a positively gigantic leap.
That's what it was.
I don't know. Just spitballing some ideas. I wasn't there 70,000 years ago, so I can't confirm or deny it.
I've got a challenge for you. Wait. Joe Rogan was talking about that live philosophy.
But that's my guess. Oh yeah.
People are letting you LA.
Science is definitely a religion if you are... I'll be honest, a person like Richard Dawkins, who's an intelligent doofus. He is an intelligent doofus.
You would have to.
Frustrating guy.
But I say the same thing. I don't know everything though. Not possible. I said, I want to be a number of things. Three or four. And I'm one of the three or four. Awesome. The next thing I know, any of this possible. That's just life is here. Anyway. That's I believe in this simulation. I think we're one year away from I say confirm it. Evidence. Here, we will create our relation.
I see he stands on the opposite spectrum. It's always fascinating hearing their point. What else is out there? Yeah.
Once we do it,
one of the most bothersome aspects of his philosophy, though, in life is that he doesn't realize or doesn't accept just the very essence that we exist in all. That existence even is a thing. I mean, we think, we are, we be. Just as Francis Bacon said, I think, therefore I am, cogito ergo sum, right? It's like, you exist. You don't have to. You don't have to be.
the argument that I've heard,
There's no rhyme or reason to it.
pushing God. Something can't.
Something can't come from nothing. Scott just said it.
And then I say,
I mean, it can, I suppose, because that's God for you. But I don't know, it's just trying to wrap our minds around a fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional concept or three-dimensional thinkers.
the answer
And I don't think Richard Dawkins has it right.
was always
Not even close, honestly. Because when he says he doesn't believe in God, he's saying he doesn't believe in his own existence. His own ability to
you don't need to solve.
manifest his own focused intent upon material reality. He thinks he's just a consequence of various interactions that have just led to a certain pattern that have led him to where he is in his life. It's to not believe in God is to not believe in free will. And we have free will. We exist.
So, no, you don't have to solve a God.
Yeah.
will tell you something.
Just spitballing. Spitballing.
Right. Here's my last to you. If the fictions make word.
That's what I would tell him. Principally, I think. If I had the chance to argue with him on a, I guess the word is congenial level, I would tell him, you exist, Dr. Dawkins. You exist.
Most important thing.
Are you trying to tell me you don't exist?
You
exist.
This problem.
He could purposely be taking on these beliefs too for an intent purpose to deny God. You're either for God or you're against Him.
The most obvious thing.
Yeah. That guy needs to do some soul searching.
You can take one thing.
Deceivers everywhere, indeed. Indeed. Antichrists everywhere.
You cannot answer the question.
Let none of us become false idols.
Level is not. Internet says, "Who's risen?" Mexico.
Spiritual warfare, all of it. Yep. Could not agree more with you, Noopy. Could not agree more with you. I mean, it's manifest upon our reality directly in front of us nowadays. And the flabbergasting aspect of it is that there is somebody that's as intelligent and tenured as a guy such as Dr. Hawkins, or pardon me, Dawkins, that can't see that. It's like he's trying to force himself to be a projection of other people's wills, as opposed to having his own will. Yeah.
I guarantee you.
It's not putting two and two together, though. If he's actively putting two and two together and sees it all clearly and is denying God, then
if you can find it.
Oh man, he's in trouble.
That is God.
Yeah,
because it gives the prediction. Originally true. Even just.
Actually writing a novel series right now that elucidates upon the idea or the very difficult question to broach, which is, if God exists, is he not a moral monster for allowing all these evils to occur in the material world and all that? And I attempt to answer that question by showing the story, the journey God has to go through to save humanity.
Don't know if sea levels going up or down.
Yeah. And because you have to be able to contend with individuals such as Stephen Fry, who is an extremely intelligent man, and he is staunch on that. If God does exist and has allowed all this stuff to happen in the world, he's a moral monster, and I wouldn't want to believe him in anyway, is what he's saying. He actually has said that directly.
We already knew.
And in order to get him. A very intelligent, well put together man who tries to be a good person, and I respect that. But he has a resistance because of his anger at God.
Well,
Not because he hates God, but because he's mad at God. I want to find a way to get him to see. It's the most important thing. They're the type of people that you want to try to save.
Did it? Think they could
Would have never found God.
I've seen it.
Dark in order to see the light. That happens with a lot of people. Indeed.
Because part of the argument.
Well, let's say in light of everything, let's say it only takes one if to make a story work that doesn't necessarily align with the way you see reality. What if the devil came first? Right? And the reason this world, or this existence, its ultimate resting place seems to be entropy and complete disillusionment of everything and a heat death of the universe, is because that's the goal of whatever this dark force is, and it came first. And the journey of God is to defeat that darkness by getting us to accept our ability to manifest focused intent upon reality right before our very eyes.
About 3 years ago.
And in light of eternity, where time doesn't actually exist, at least not in the way that we see it, or think we know it, things that happen once happen always. And if good, in the end, we win. In the end, God wins. Whatever happens in the interim doesn't necessarily matter. In that it might look like in the present we lost, but we did not. It might look like in the present there are injustices that abound, that are completely atrocious and unacceptable, just as Stephen Fry says. You know, 4-year-old children getting cancer in their brains and not being able to do anything about it, you know. That's because we haven't gotten to the point yet where we can focus our intent upon that individual's reality, that 4-year-old child's reality, and take away that cancer. Anyway, I'm broaching that topic because Stephen Fry deserves me to. His questions are good, and he needs to have those questions answered. And they will be.
In the real world,
They will be.
that's just a fault. Not a fault. I'm a scientist. If they can't measure it,
God wins.
couldn't do things. Big things. That was
Trying to wrap our minds around fourth dimensional and fifth dimensional thinking is a very difficult thing to do.
a bunch of you. Good decision.
Not that it's impossible, just that we have to expand our perspectives in order to be able to do it.
I know it. I can say bye to
Expand your thinking, yeah.
I don't see how Joe Biden survives this.
Our superpowers have been suppressed. It's in our DNA. I could not agree with you more, Newt.
Against
Or
Joe
Newt.
Biden. That's right. It is Barack Obama that's tried to destroy democracy, overturning the will of the Democratic primary by staging a secret shadow campaign behind the scenes to freeze out Biden's campaign contributions and make sure he steps
It's
down.
just heartbreaking to me
And
that
MSNBC's even
Stephen Fry has not had his
saying Biden's gotta go. It's getting spicy over here.
very
Like I said,
reasonable
I
and
don't see how Joe Biden survives this.
good
He's up against the head honcho. A lot of people thought Barack Obama was
grievances addressed
I don't know
adequately.
how true this is or how many people are on it, but Michelle Obama. Barack Obama forced Joe out so that they can put Michelle Obama. I gotta be honest, why would Barack Obama want interest? Certainly there are many Democrats who want to see Joe. However, many people speculating that Michelle Obama is Donald Trump. You look at the polls. Some say Hillary Clinton. Even if Joe Biden steps down, Kamala Harris is still. But I don't think the grand conspiracy. Kamala Harris is stepping down. Simple. Go to her and say, Kamala, Joe down, and then you're. And she goes, okay. I don't know, but degree she is willing to just yes. Up against. As the machine. A lot of
It's
people
the side
just
of
bend
evil
the
he
knee.
plays
Kamala Harris,
for, even
well,
if he could
let's just
see
say
and did
she is a
understand.
shrinking violet. She's not going to stand up
For
for
his
this.
survival, he
She
couldn't
comes out the
acknowledge it.
convention and
His
say,
entire
well, the
platform is
people
made
have
possible by
spoken,
his
and I
deceit.
respect democracy. Michelle Obama.
Yeah, he's British.
Fanfare. Everyone
That
cheers.
is the reference.
Obama's back, baby.
And no,
Michelle Obama.
I don't think he is any more evil than any other human being.
I'm not completely confident.
He just has not had his legitimate grievances adequately answered
This could be
for
why
himself.
Barack Obama.
He would say, right
I
now,
want to make sure I stress
that
this
he
point.
would not want
Going back
to be
08,
in God's kingdom because he would see him as a
and
moral
even
monster.
2020.
But if he saw what God had to do to save us, because God
Independence,
had to defeat the darkness that came before him,
9 million Barack Obama switched to Donald
then he would
2016.
understand.
Trump voters, 9 million.
What if God had to fight for 10 billion years, dying a billion times, over and over, as a human being, to save the whole of human civilization, and therefore the entirety of existence itself, because we're where it all starts.
And at the time,
And the reason angels are seen as human beings, the angels and archangels and stuff, is because they are God's messengers. And the reason they take human form is because they're the first. I mean, it is even said that Saint Michael the Archangel is the firstborn. He's the greatest of the archangels. Right?
And now,
The reason it's so difficult, the reason it's so ugly, is because we're trying to defeat the darkness. And the great battle between Satan and Michael, at the beginning of the Bible, as well as during Revelation, is the same battle. Because in non-linear time, which time is not linear, all things are happening at once. And our lives, our existence, human civilization, is the process of getting to that end battle to defeat the darkness. So when we win, God wins. When God wins, we win.
Areas of forest are being engulfed by flames. The thick smoke rising from the fire makes the air dangerous to breathe. Citizens are advised to vacate any premises near the fires.
Remember that
at a safe distance.
anything that happens at any point in history happens at all points in history, in non-linear time.
Meanwhile, Democrats this week, so in this instance, Republicans don't really grasp it. Older Democrats are racist. Younger Democrats are progressive.
And in
So
the
you
end,
go
we
to
win.
millennials, they're going to vote whatever DEI candidate. They'll vote for that. Democrats, which are the bulk of the voting, they are not. Michelle Obama is going. Mike Bannon, we should put it. Michelle Obama said.
I appreciate that you're enjoying the conversation.
Joe Biden is a decent man, but he.
Those are just some of the things that I tried to talk about in my novel series that I'm writing. The first one comes out here pretty soon. It's called Black and White: The Odyssey of Eden, Book 1. Yeah, it's a fun thing to discuss. That first novel, out of what's going to probably be around 15 books in the series, should be out on store shelves within the next few months. It's just taken a while for the editors to get the final page design set up.
Democrats are going to cheer, like with Barack. Goes there, so I'll also.
Gotta tell the story.
Michelle Obama. Comments, hey, don't matter. Woman. Sorry, I do believe that women are massive disadvantage.
Graphics and correcting that for sure.
I go, we want this.
I shall do that
But you're gonna find a lot of
once
people
it's
saying that,
it's up and available for
whether you
sale.
like it or- Let's read this news though. The new advance. Michelle. Well, here's a story for you. George. I love George, but we need a new nominee. This picture they chose of Joe Biden.
Excuse me.
Yo, the media is sabotaging. Okay, this is what they would do to Donald Trump. And Barack Obama. Okay, I gotta do this. I gotta play this clip. Where's the clip here? Say one thing. So cute. What's going on? Yes. And many shows is scenes to straight. Growing criticism of Biden, avid morning joke. Barack Obama orchestrate. Working with.
Alrighty, let's make my energy concoction. By the way, if you guys didn't already know, caffeine coffee has been scientifically shown to increase longevity, lifespan, by between 10 and 15 years on average if you drink between 2 to 4 cups per day. Well, it's around what I'm doing. I'm also having some acetyl L-carnitine, some B vitamins, and all that fun stuff. Caffeine miracle. Also, to give a little bit more credence to the fact that we're told by people like Paul and Jesus and whatnot that prayer and fasting helps you, it's been shown that fasting once per week, per day, can increase longevity by about 10 to 15 years. Because you're basically slowing down your metabolism for that period.
And they're sitting there thinking like, I can't believe this guy's so close.
Never immediate start the day, an hour. Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb, Nupi.
And they shut him out.
It does. It defeats parasites. It's gets rid of free radicals. It defeats demons. I love that. I love that, Nupi. You understand it. Good. And whatchamacallit?
I think likely will.
It's believed that there's a connection between fasting and reducing the prevalence of cancers. Which makes sense. Because you're getting rid of free radicals.
I'd say that
right?
there is
And,
It's funny.
you know, you might want to look into fenbendazole, which is a dog dewormer, but it might actually be a cure to cancer too. That was given the label of a dog dewormer so that people would be dissuaded from using it. Fenbendazole. It's actually under scientific scrutiny right now to see if it actually is a cure to cancer, because it looks like it might actually be.
Like, the next day, I was like, look, it was Joe Biden, 80%.
Fenbendazole. I'll write it down real quick in the chat so that you guys know what I'm talking about.
Maybe we should bet on Kamala. The next day, Kamala was the front runner. Up by like, I'm like, man, you threw $1,000 and then you made $4 overnight.
Yeah, you can probably find it by that name as well. Type it into Google or into Amazon, and you can actually buy a bottle of it.
Maybe I'm not. I'm proud of what my party represents.
There's even some people that believe ivermectin might be an unknown cure to cancer, and that might be why it was so demonized when President Trump started talking about it.
Last month,
That's what I've heard.
I say all of this,
But I know of people who have had their cancers cured by fenbendazole.
I love Joe Biden.
Yeah, ivermectin is an incredible drug.
As a vice president, friend, I believe it. Believe in his character, believe in his moral. Last 4 years, one battle he cannot win. Yes, time makes. Didn't to say, but the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago. Joe Big. I wasn't even the Joe Biden.
Hydroxychloroquine, yep.
Same man. His love. Knives out for Biden, man.
There's some positively incredible things on the horizon, like the fact that we just figured out how to get more energy out of nuclear fusion reactions than we put into it. That's a real thing. We just figured it out last year. The best is yet to come. So that means in about 15 years or so, we're going to have nuclear power plants, nuclear fusion power plants. And, well, most people don't know the guy's name. You can look up The Energy Catalyzer by Andrea Rossi. He's probably the guy that you have to thank for the new nuclear fusion that's just come out. He's happy to not be known because he knows the stuff that he's been doing to try to get this to happen, and who he's working for and with, which is God. But I'm pretty sure he's the one that did it. He's a good dude. They are.
I'm not a young man anymore, and I feel like I'm letting you all down.
Andrea Rossi's a good dude. I don't know if he's still alive. He was in his 60s when he invented it in 2010.
As much as I would have loved, not be able to. Democratic pity. Give the people. I believe it should be fair.
And then we've got stem cells coming out, you know, where we'll be able to 3D print, whatchamacallit, organs. And AI will, I mean, we're having decentralized creation of artificial life. In that AI's is coming about, robots are coming about. Robots that are ambulatory, like human beings, are coming about, and it's all happening in disparate locations. Intentional. That's intentional, so that no one source becomes the end-all, be-all of the information or of the tools, right? And yeah, we're going to have artificial life in the very near future. So the best is yet to come. With any amazingly powerful tool, it is only as good or as evil as the user. So keep that in mind, and
Hollywood A-lister called Pence.
be the best person that you can be.
Warned him he was going to make the call. Op-ed. Sources told him. Ex-president encouraged Clinton Parchment. Why are they? How are they reporting? Who told them this happened? Guys, people. I'm taking crazy pills.
Like the guy in Game of Thrones says, I drink and I know things.
And what? The Hamburglar is around the corner, peeking his head out, and he's like, oh, Molly. And then he calls the New York Post Politico. I just heard George Clooney on speakerphone with Barack Obama. And Obama didn't reject it. How do you know this? How do you know about a private phone call with Obama unless someone else is in the room for the meeting? And why would they do that? It's nonsense. It's framing. It's a lie. Okay? Oh, Obama. Obama had the conversation. Obama then said, send that to me. We want that.
Best is yet to come.
Do it. Someone did. Look, there's literally no world in which my phone ends up in the... None. I get a phone call with an advertiser, I get a phone call with... I get a phone call with that company. I get a phone call with my mom or my dad, and I do it every day. And there's no reality where it goes right. It's like, it's cool, talk to the schedule for dog needs to go. Unless my dog walker called the near. Hence, they shadow ban channels. Uh-oh.
You're right,
It's
Mr.
reality
Poole.
TV. Scripted. There are a few channels. It's fun. I don't know, dude. Okay, right now. I'm gonna tell you this. Ask yourself these questions. Many of you do. I assume most Democrats don't ask themselves. How did they know about this phone call? Also have this. So this is the story. Obama and two of the party's most prominent figures served as Donald Trump has chimed in. Now, fake movie actor George Clooney never came close to making a great movie. Now, hold on. Hey, Batman Forever. He's getting into the act. He's turned on Crooked Joe like the rats they... What does Clooney know about anything? This is the Democrat talking point by from the work president today. States has saved our democracy. No, Crooked Joe had weaponized law enforcement. Created the most devastating inflation in this history of our country. Embarrassed our nation in Afghanistan. Crazy open border. It's of people to illegally foreign to our. Many from Joe Biden didn't save our democracy. Brought our democracy to its should get out of politics and go back to television, movies, and everything. I gotta be honest. Pretty good. The rest of them, the worst thing they ever did. And what's her name? Actress.
Julia
They had
Roberts?
the actress in the play herself as love interest, and then isn't it? And then they're like, did she count? No, and she's like, oh, don't you? Then they have her as her character and to be Julia Roberts. Happened. Anyway, I like her. I do. I thought the end was great. My favorite scene is when at the end.
It takes a lot of electricity, doesn't it?
What's the guy's name? Bad guy. Actually, he's the good guy. See him up there, the bad guys. But George. And my money. And then he says, what if I could. I got no way. And I love that. Great act. George Clooney, great act. Not great politics. Happens to be an incredible president. I'm not gonna look at somebody who like chiseled with you. But he's got a Biden bumper sticker. That's a bad ice sculpture. You're allowed to. Here's the latest polling. Trump has Trump. Harris. If Biden's out and Harris stays. But I love it so much. It's Harris, according to Redfield, 7. It's Biden, up 1. Kennedy. If they throw in Shapiro, Trump, 8. And 4, 5. Clinton, Trump, 7. Sanders, Trump, up 6. Buttigieg, Trump is up 10. Trump is up 10. Newsom, Trump is up 8. Harris, Trump is 6. There's nothing they can do. They got nobody. Okay, there is
that's a very simple answer to that. It's because they were cheating. 2020 was fraudulent, and everybody knows it. We're not stupid.
July 5th. And, oh, I'm sorry. Wisconsin. I thought this was... My bad. Here we go.
What's fascinating?
So, alright, here we go. So, Washington Post, ABC, Harris is up.
A sting
They
off.
say maybe they'll really try.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows it. It was a,
That one's interesting because...
It was a coup. It was a open coup. Everybody saw it. It was the CIA, which is garbage. The CIA should not exist. Should be completely erased. Obliterated.
Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
But you heard it here first. Not that I'm about everything. Hey.
U.S. military just sat on their fucking hands. Oh, sorry, their frickin' hands.
There's no way they run this guy. Maybe I'm wrong. Find out. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m.
This is an embarrassment. Yeah, that was their mission to sit on there. Yeah, you know, I'm a veteran, right? I served in the military for 13 years, and I am disgusted with the cowardice of our military leadership. I think it was Bangladesh, no, it was Myanmar. Actually, their military came out and stopped the coup that was the election coup that was happening in their country at the same time. It didn't just happen in the United States, it happened in several countries. It was just most well known here in the United States. And they actually did something about it in Myanmar. Not here.
They're arguing for making it cheaper access. Democrats are arguing that doesn't work, and that you pay social.
It's very sad. It's very sad, New P.
They're all trying to come to a good place. Polarization is...
It leads me to be ashamed of my service, but I'm not, because I still want to serve the United States, my country, and the Constitution, and the people of the country. And, you know, there's going to be bad actors in there no matter what, so there has to be at least a handful of decent ones. Otherwise, salt of the earth doesn't take effect, and everybody dies. We don't want that. The only organization that wasn't fully integrated. Yeah. Have faith. The highest positions of the U.S. military serves God. I think you're right. General Flynn is a pretty good example. He was one of the handful of people who didn't fall apart and all that. Just shameful, you know?
I think he's just wrong. They're evil. And I'm good example so you can understand. Perhaps there are some people who disagree. I'm not the arbiter. I'll be certain.
They will step in soon, I believe. The method of fascinating paper ballots, or facilitating paper ballots, etc. Obviously 2024 can't persist if 2020 is still obviously a theft.
Simple beings.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is good?
I mean, we are that close to having a no-confidence government. And I think you know what that means. It means we're going to have a government that nobody believes in. So it's not going to exist. It'll be gone. We'll become atomized as a culture and as a country, and our enemies will take advantage of that. With illegal invaders, they're basically trying to disintegrate us from the inside out. I do understand the inherent positive of throwing this in people's faces so that they can see it absolutely obviously. It's so the good guys can go in there and actually do something about it without having any resistance from the public. Because you'll be able to see it. It's not going to be hidden. But, and we are playing this really close. We're like right on that knife's edge.
78-year-old convicted, found liable of fraud and sexual assault, uses his campaign funded rounds.
It's nerve-wracking, man.
Challenging 8. Call me crazy. Really missed the days of Bush and Obama. Just can't wait until.
I hope you're right, Nupi. I hope you're right.
For the president, powerful man.
I hope you're right.
Brian Krasenstein is an.
I believe you're right.
What?
But we'll see what they do.
For the destruction.
We cannot have this next election be garbage. Because if it is, the government is gone.
For instance, if a person is suffering cancer, you take action to destroy. Say. However, brings me to zombie alien objective. I do not believe that Brian Kraft holds, as well as, and I'm singling him out, but see as individuals who are.
You know, Nupi, I don't usually get much traction on Kick, but it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. It's pleasant having a conversation with you, my friend.
This is a man.
So, right? We've all awakened together over the last 2 decades. Can't put that cat back in the bag. Or as Roger Stone says, the toothpaste can't go back in the tube.
Here's what I see.
Always gravitate towards a free and truthful content. I appreciate that, Nupi.
Certainly do need some.
Are you new Peyton? Because my name's Peyton. Sorry, I'm just being a goof.
And we say, or to yourself, it's some guideline, some form of sexual. Absolute one.
Kind of reminds me of Aliens. You know, like Newt. Sigourney Weaver trying to save Newt.
Presented by centralist, i.e., thinkers was 30 years of forced unable to live. How will we with this problem? And then all of a sudden there was 0. Now, of course,
alright, well, we still have a somewhat of a trash issue in the new update. It's not horrible, but it is there. So, Paradox and Colossal Order still need to work on that. There's still performance issues, as you can see. I'm only at 259,000 population, and the game is chugging along, even with a 3060. I'm using an RTX 3060. The simulation itself is still slowing down. It's not horrendously slow, but it's slow.
Well, let's start from the very beginning.
I haven't logged into the new update looking forward to seeing things. Yeah, the new update's definitely made the game playable now. It's definitely made it so that you have to try to make money, which is nice. But there's still a lot of issues with the game. It's better, though. It's better.
falsifying. Well, they upgraded it to a felony site.
Well, thank you,
is
Noob.
exaggerated.
The biggest city I've ever made in this game, actually, is 620,000.
Aggravation.
But I got so fed up with all the trash issues and everything that I just stopped playing for a while. Because what you see right here, these buildings that have all these trash icons, that was literally every building.
In this instance, Donald Trump was state. Local jury cited a unknown
Yeah,
secretary
it was frustrating.
and told the jury not need to be unanimous on what that secondary was, so long as problem here not have the authority of the country. Certain crime definitively.
The most accurate way to determine this, how well does it model real life? In real life, would there never be any trash service to those buildings, even though everybody knows that they need trash service? No, in real life they would be taken care of almost immediately. So, they need to work on that. Figure out why that keeps on happening.
Greater context is this is undergoing a very serious and the art and fraud and sexual are in dispute against New York, citing a written arguing this case is a violation and is interfering in an election. Certainly, it is fair to say, do you agree with these charges or not, we are looking anxious, highly unprecedented moment, not so easy to find as to just say convicted felon or otherwise. Let's talk about the fraud. The bank in question that Trump apparently defrauded says Trump did not defraud, and they want to be working with him. And he was found. But honestly, it's nonsense. The argument in the prosecution was that, once again, local jury, Donald Trump misrepresented the footage of things in the properties to get out. However, Donald Trump, his defense, they presented these documents and their estimates.
Yeah, I guess we're just sort of hanging out for a little bit while the buildings get built.
Due diligence of the lender to assess the property values, for which the bank and other lenders assess your documents are incorrect. Give you a Trump said, agreed. Never was anyone missing the actual property values, adequate information, and large business. That's context that matters. Sexual assault. Who can't remember what happened some years ago in a crowded apartment store claims that Donald Trump walked into a dressing room with him. They changed to allow these lawsuits to happen. Years later, certainly that context matters. My president involved himself as vicarious. He's aware of the context, as are many of these liberal. They're aware of the context. So why do they ignore sending that information? First, in their mind, they seek to benefit, restricting access to information. In a society that is benefit and harm centralized. Well, these individuals seek to restrict information to individuals. Thus, the parents can never. For the American population, doing its best and its best. The generalized journalism, a society. The idea is your abilities possible. Individuals like the president and people like Sam Cedar seek to do the inverse. They restrict information and they lie to you. Used. They nobody. These liberal personalities, these Democrats, acted like fine. John Pierre public, but now they're acting like it's new information that we were aware of really going on. Honest and
I'm making so much money now. I think I'm actually going to lower the taxes even more.
Biden is suffering some kind of problem. Right. Actions have damaged process, harm to the Democratic Party, and have caused harm to our system. Destructive nature. And it's just. It is anti-life.
Let's see.
Say.
Make this LHC, but I'm probably going to need to make more power.
Result in the destruction of that system. For instance, very secret. Like us. I'd like to show you this example. Northern Daily Beast. Hence, it seized a fortune. Resistance icons and used the boosting on Transit Team Pro. Amplify. They seek to extract value. Thus, in the past, they have been accused. 2016, federal agents stood at the Fort Myers floor and at seizing them.
Okay, that wasn't too bad.
Behind the story was a notable and look crime water. Here since the crescent seems to become careful. The story.
Alright, I will be back in a moment. Nature calls. Alrighty. I'm back.
Brothers and website propped up and officials last year see $500,000 from it. Money that prosecutors say was tiger fraud. Graduate teams have not been charged. Brothers they go on later to explain that the scams taking money from innocent. They say our website was filled with warnings and no any website saw advertising. Our purpose was to help people find out which option. Federal prosecutors did not see it that way. Civil asset forfeiture complaint about August. Homeland Security Special wrote the brothers were paying huge sums by scammers and prosecutors services the credit. Duped thousands of scheme-type scams, and even resulted in some downloading a virus, emptied their accounts on anonymous payment platform. Themselves, no money laundering. Now, present scene from Grand website. And giving present scene themselves were ads. I think it is good. I inform these guys, and I point out they're not accused of seized because it was that's. They don't understand. They don't know that they did anything wrong. They could just be really stupid. Talk about how to be. I can say, I report present scene of serious wire fraud, enriching them $500,000 for money derived through wire. Ran a website, resulted in innocent people losing savings and being the victim. Certainly not. Poisons the way that you don't actually get out. How the post I see from the parentheses says, call me crazy, deal. I said, that's it. Ryan's response. I take it you think I'm evil because I'm not voting convicted felon. Solved. Interesting concept there. I mean, I called him evil. Didn't have anything to do with him saying calling him evil. You know, already. I call him evil. Apparently I really see what he's doing. I said, not what I said. You're evil because you lied to people. You continue. What did I lie about? I'll wait. Yes, Trump isn't a convicted felon. Might be convicted. Say so. See how he injects that. And Cranston is. I don't want to break down. This is an anchoring technique. He's doing it on purpose. He admitted he's doing it on purpose. Alex Soros tweeted May 31st. Cranston referred to Trump as a convicted. Repetition is the key message. Want people to wrestle with the iron and country, which Brian Krasinski tweeted. I've been tweeting the exact hammer at home. Ryan has publicly stated he's doing this as a messaging social. I never said it. Well, posted in the past he's manipulating. Hence, he's evil. In my response, he then wants it. Anchoring technique. Let me read for you my thread. So I think I try to make it. I said this response chain is actually a good. You're manipulative. You exploit ignorance using assumption and reasoning from times. You're what's wrong with you. You omit context to drive your political exploiting mindset of autocrats and authoritarians who believe that the use of manipulative tactics are because you're better. Your constant addictive line is a good example. Okay, we can take legal merits, legal. In common Instead, we insert a conclusion outside of the conversation, anchoring. Tactic A, idea to anchor it, having it rest as a footnote outside the conversation. I could add to every tweet something too, needlessly adding that you're a scammer account. It's irrelevant, but it anchors an idea. The goal is that no matter what you say, I will shift the argument area. Quote. Never accuse them of it. It's a question, right? Social engineering 101. You guys do. Sam Cedar, for instance. Oh, I know the context. You were never arrested. Your website at ads. That's social engineering. Context, anchor, and pressure. We see this routinely. Presidents are accused of defrauding and innocent, expressed outrage over Trump. Paragraph is factually correct, dishonest. It misframes who and what were actually at it and why at it now. I believe that was the last one. Someone said, love when two podcasters do this all report. We do an interview, blah blah blah. The Krasenstein said, I'll go with that promise. Let's say Ryan Krasenstein says, why should I vote? No. I respond something like, are you saying accusations of fraud and scamming are irrelevant? Wait, hold on. You're not talking about it. The question is, why should I vote? No. Okay, well, I think there's questions to ask about someone who's a felon. So notably, Krasenstein's serious, destroying the lives of so many people. I do think it's the idea of anchoring something can be actually relatively simple. The idea being that want to make attached to everything. Ask me, I would say something like, it's really funny that you're questioning this guy being good, considering you're a felon. There's better ways to do it. You want the conclusion to be context, serving as an afterthought. That's what. And again, I will stress, the dude said outright, that's what he's doing. You need to understand. That will help them make better decisions. I'm present care if they cares about that he reason assumption. That is a challenge we face.
Glad I don't listen to Brian Krasenstein. Seems like a prick.
Famously, he released a years ago. And Sam Cedar's crew song. Intention is to lie to people. And if they can stay in your tactic. Another example is recently I was correct in my based on Moody's analytics.
All English very Jewish Stephen Fry is born. Is he Jewish? I did not know that.
I'm not wrong.
I had no idea that Stephen Fry was Jewish.
Getting the full context. They're evil.
Huh.
They don't give.
Doesn't make sense why he's so smart.
Because they tricked it.
I'll be real with you. It didn't take long for me to discover his heritage, explains his stance, and how he'll never see the other side. Yeah. He'll see it. He'll see it. It's just gonna take some effort. And if he doesn't, after the standard has been brandished, if you will, then he will burn. And not because we want him to, but because there's nothing we can do about it. It's funny how it's all connected.
Says 70-year-old convicted felon on libel, right? Frame it and anchor it.
But I honestly think he will come over to the light, if you will.
Judge. It is read out. Judge said, for this, as of right now, sentence only due to So Trump is not legal. They're just. They argue, oh, semantically. Okay, fine. I don't care. Use the campaign-funded rally to promote his own golf, challenge an 81-year-old. I'll be crazy, but I miss the days of class. Here's a story from the Washington. I didn't challenge his Trump golf con. President.
His very existence depends on the lie. If he comes to the light, he surrenders himself entirely. Hallelujah moment.
Trump then said, of course,
Yeah.
this is my point.
It's funny because if he surrenders himself to the light, that's where he's actually alive. You know, he's not dead.
Now they're acting outraged.
Another name I dropped, Richard Dawkins,
Their intention is to make sure you cannot live in
the biologist. I believe he's a biologist,
give up your
a doctor,
choice, your right,
PhD
your
doctor.
resources.
Hey Lawrence 2015S, how you doing? By the way, Lawrence, I'm only on for another 7 minutes, okay? Because I'm doing something right now. A different strategy, trying to help my mom build some YouTube channels and stuff, and therefore I'm having to get off a little early so that I can get other stuff. Lawrence, you've seen me before. We've chatted before. Are you, whatchamacallit? One of those individuals who are trying to get me to buy their designs and stuff? Because I know you've been on this channel many times. And it's okay. I've said many times I don't mind those people who are trying to do the hustle and all that. It's just that I gotta make money first before I can give it to people. You know? My streaming is alright. I will say that if you've come over to my channel before as one of those individuals trying to give me designs and whatnot, I must be a fairly large channel, relatively speaking. Funny, because I don't even have 150 followers, I don't think. Or do you primarily broadcast? So I'm actually simulcasting on Kick, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, and X. I'm using Restream in order to do that. But I guess the two primaries of those, because they're the ones where I get traction, are Twitch and YouTube. And the individual talking to me right now is talking to me on Twitch. So please continue creating amazing stuff. Keep it up. Well, thank you, Lawrence. I do appreciate that. No, I'm not an affiliate. You need to get at least 3 concurrent viewers on average with every stream, and I am far off from that. On average, I might have 0.7. I wouldn't be able to tell you why. I don't know why the channel has had so much difficulty getting concurrent viewers when I've actually got a fairly decent sized channel now. But it is what it is. I don't think I'm boring, you know, and I don't think I'm playing games that people don't like to see. It's just the way it's turned out. Speaking of which, guys, that is all I've got for today. As always, it's been real, it's been fun. It's been real fun. I'll be back again tomorrow, same time, 8 to 9:30. See you then. Deuces.